as a quality review assistant. Yes, friends, you must be knowing or you must be reading that year 2025 will be of AI agents. The AI agents will take care of many of the work, our meeting schedules, repetitive works, and tasks. So, how that technology can be helpful for we members as a chartered accountants in our quality review process. That is the topic which we are going to discuss today. And I welcome you all with a loud applause. And it's a very good beginning for this year. This is the first webinar, and we are doing jointly with SAFA. We have Vice President SAFA, Mohammed Kabir sir. Sir, we welcome you for this webinar. So let's welcome Mohammed sir. Then we have another speaker, Asad Firozi, council member for ICAPA, Institute of Pakistan Chartered Accountants. And then we have speaker Vijay sir and our dynamic chairman of Committee of Members in Practice, Rohit Ruhatia sir. So I welcome you all for this discussion, a thought-provoking seminar which will take us to the different aspect of AI-powered financial statement reviews, then how AI can be used for audit documentation, regulatory compliances, risk assessment, then reporting, quality control, and client communications. This is just a tip of the iceberg. AI can do many things. We just have to follow the things internationally, what AI is affecting on our profession. Friends, we are and all we staff there. And it may be seen that AI adoption is much faster in our Asian region than the other region. And it has been a survey done internationally.
Yeah, Rohit sir, we request you to please give your welcome address.
Just a moment, sir. Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, you're very well audible, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, some disconnection. So, very respected Vice President of SAFA, Mohammed Kabir ji, Asad Firoz ji, the speaker of today's session, Vijay ji, and of course, my Vice Chairman of the Committee for Members in Practice, Umesh Sharma ji. I can see Shruti Kalra ji and Nisag Tech Support and my committee from India. So, very good afternoon to one and all present over here. So, I would like to congratulate Krishna. So it's a great initiative, and that in India also we are doing in our committee for AI and ICAI. That is Umesh Sharma ji is also leading that committee, in which a lot of new initiatives, AI certification, and other related things are happening to genuinely enhance the capacity and capabilities of our professionals. So I am very hopeful that by today's webinar, the SAFA countries would be certainly beneficial by understanding the importance of artificial intelligence in our professional life. And of course, the fast changing environment. And when we look up to 2025, which is the year of AI, in which right now the auditing profession, the financial aspect, the compliances, and everything, and even the governments of various countries are focusing on the artificial intelligence. So we, the professionals, should also be equipped with the artificial intelligence, how the AI is changing the element. But I can surely tell you one thing to the listeners of all our countries, and of course to the speakers and to the dignitaries, that people are somewhere saying that AI will replace chartered accountants someday. But I can confidently say that no AI can replace a chartered accountant who is having a knowledge of AI. So if you are having knowledge of AI, no chartered accountant can be replaced. But a chartered accountant without knowledge of AI, certainly he'll be having challenges ahead. So a very important session for all of us. So again, thank you very much and congratulations for doing such a wonderful webinar with us. Thank you very much.
Now I request Mohammad Himayu Kabir sir, the Vice President of SAFA, to please share his words of wisdom with our viewers.
Thank you. I understand is SAFA President, respected President Mr. Ashfaq Tulazi is connected. I don't know, but my salutation to him for very first. And then it's my privilege to address you at the inaugural session of this webinar on AI as a quality review assistant. And thanks to the organizer, particularly the SMP committee of SAFA, as well as the ICI related committee, and the committee members who are joining today. Good afternoon to you all. As the chair and vice chair of the CMA, I will say that ICI committee and the SAFA committee, in the very beginning, you have set the tone, the importance of AI in today's world, to be relevant, to be part of the, I will say that, the very existence of our profession. Therefore, there is no need to say that it's the importance of today's webinar. I will just highlight some of the point already talked, and to be very specific. This AI has the potential to revolutionize the quality review process for specifically small and medium-sized accounting practitioners. By leveraging artificial intelligence tools effectively, practitioners can improve their efficiency, enhance accuracy, and provide better service to their clients. However, it is important to approach artificial intelligence adoption with a thoughtful and strategic approach, ensuring that human expertise remains centered to the review process. While saying so, let me also share with you what I understand, at least the areas that AI can help the SME auditors. First of all, it can enhance the risk assessment through predictive analytics and early warning systems. Second, it can stimulate the audit process through improving efficiency. AI-powered tools can significantly speed up the audit process, reducing turnaround times and cost for both auditors and the enterprise itself. Most importantly, AI can increase the transparency and trust by reducing the audit risk, and particularly by minimizing the human error and enhancing the accuracy of audit findings. Artificial intelligence can help reduce the risk of audit failures and improve the reliability of financial statements. AI, no doubt, can increase the trust by demonstrating the use of advanced technologies and data analytics. Auditors can build greater trust with SME and its stakeholders. And as I already said, one of the key benefits of adoption of AI in the review process is the reduction of audit cost. Automation and increased efficiency can lead to lower audit fees and improve financial reporting, enhance decision-making process, and help to be proactive in risk management, both in risk management areas by early identifying the risks as well as the potential problems and improve their overall financial health. But as I said beginning, there are challenges as well as data quality and security is the foremost important requirement to I will say, successful or more effective AI adoption process. Ensuring the accuracy and security of data used in AI-powered audit is crucial. Second aspect, the ethical consideration, addressing concern around data privacy, bias, and potential displacement of human auditors. Third element is the implementation cost. Investing in AI technological and training staff can be costly for SMEs, but it can be somewhere this concern may be addressed if we have a platform for sharing of the cost of implementation among the SME practitioners. Third thing is the regulatory compliance issue. Staying abreast of evolving regulation and standard related to use of AI in auditing is a big challenge. Therefore, overall, what we can say that in conclusion, AI has a potential to transform the auditing landscape for small and medium enterprises, offering significant benefits in terms of efficiency, accuracy, and risk management. By embracing these technologies, auditors can provide more value to their clients while navigating the complexities of the modern business environment. I like to again, in conclusion, the growing role of AI as a quality review assistant is a testament to its transformative potential for small and medium practitioners. The journey, however, requires commitment, collaboration, and continuous learning. Let us leverage the insight shared during today's webinar to pave the way for a future where AI becomes an integral part of our profession, driving excellence and innovation. Together, we can ensure that SMPs not only adapt to the changing landscape, but also emerge as leaders in this area of technological transformation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to the engaging in the discussion ahead. Thank you, Sharmaji, and all the participants in the webinar. I wish all the best and successful webinar today.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom.
Mohammad ji, and it was a very nice enlightenment, and we have got very good insight relating to AI and the effects on our profession. We are very much thankful, Mohammad Kabir sir, for joining today. And now I request our tech team to take forward, and we have our speaker Asad Firozji there and Vijay sir. So over to you, tech team. Please introduce our speaker.
Yeah, today we have our first speaker, Mr. Asad Firozji. He's a Central Council member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan. He is also a fellow member of Association of Chartered Certified Accountants of United Kingdom, the Pakistan Institute of Public Finance Accountants, and Institute of Taxation Management. Mr. Firoz serves as a technical advisor in PAO-DAG at the International Federation of Accountants and is a member of Accounting Standards Boards at ICAP. He is also a part of Sustainability Group at CAW Chartered Accountants of Worldwide and ICAP. Sir, we give the dais to you, and you're requested to please share your experiences and the way forward which you want to share with our viewers.
Thank you very much. May I request the team to play my presentation in the meantime when I start? No problem. I can start and you can play in the meantime. So good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege and honor to join you today as we delve into the transformative role of artificial intelligence especially in vis-a-vis the role of quality review assistant. I am honored to represent the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan in this esteemed gathering, which has been arranged by the SAFA SMP committee and the Committee of Practicing Members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I am extremely thankful to our SAFA President, Mr. Ashfaq Tola, Vice President, Mr. Humayun Kabir, who just spoke before me, Rohit Saab, Mesh Saab, Sharma Saab, Vijay Saab of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, members of the Committee of Members of Practice, and of course, our very own SAFA SMP committee for this opportunity. So firstly, I would like to start on a lighter note. Humayun Kabir Saab has actually, I think, spoken 60-70% of the material I was trying to dig out in the last few days. And probably it will be very less from my side now. And Humayun Saab has covered almost everything on it. But nonetheless, it was an excellent start to the debate and the discussion that is related to the role of AI in this very, very important area. I am really glad that this topic has been picked up by your team here. And this topic is of immense significance. If I can request the team to go to the next slide and perhaps skip my introduction was already done. So we can skip the next slide and go to the next one where there is the agenda. Yes, and the next one, please, to coming to the agenda. Yes, these are the points that you guys would be looking at, and these were the main areas that were also highlighted in the brochure on which we would be dwelling upon today. As far as our institute is concerned, we are also working on AI. At ICAP, we have already developed ICAP.ai, which is a platform in which all of our institutes, ordinance and bylaws and different legislation and different things are already being placed there for the benefit of our members and the users. So we are striding towards that aspect. This quality review and AI usage is also being very much a topic of discussion for us. I was part of the task force which was working on improving the speed of our quality review engagements and the work that is done by the independent team there. And we have been facing many issues in this regard by different regulators regarding the speed of quality reviews. And I'm very sure that the use of AI will benefit a lot, and especially the speed factor, if it is to be considered, I would say that was quite a pressure on us, would be quite a lot relieved by this. So if you go to the next slide, please. If I can request if the mics could be muted so that everybody could. Yes. Going to the next slide, that is the quality review. We all know what is quality review. Quality review is a process that is used to evaluate and ensure the quality, accuracy, and compliance of an audit. It involves a thorough examination of the audit work performed, including the methodologies, procedures, documents, and the findings. The goal of an audit quality review is to ensure that the audit was conducted in accordance with the professional standards and the regulatory requirements, and that the conclusions are drawn and are well supported by the evidence. So as we navigate through the era of digital transformation, AI's integration into quality review processes is not just an advancement. It has actually become a necessity. It is being said anything that would be automated would actually be automated. So this is the post-COVID, this whole emergence of technology has actually taken a new shape. I understand that in our part of the world, India has taken the lead, and I've talked to my Indian counterparts in various SAFA meetings. So there is a lot being done there. And our institute and other institutes of the SAFA region are also working or striding towards that goal. So artificial intelligence, as I said, has made remarkable strides in the field of quality assurance and review as well. Traditionally, the quality reviews in our profession have relied heavily on manual processes, requiring meticulous attention to detail and significant human effort. However, AI offers an evolution of these processes through automation, data analysis, and pattern recognition. By employing AI, we can enhance accuracy, efficiency, and consistency in quality reviews, allowing auditors and accountants to focus more on strategic and analytic tasks. So can we go to the next one? Next slide, please. Yes, coming to AI vis-a-vis financial statements review. AI is making substantial impact in several key areas. These include AI-powered financial statement reviews, where automation enhances the accuracy and compliance of financial statements. We will discuss audit documentation quality review, leveraging AI to improve the thoroughness and consistency of audit records. And then we will also discuss the regulatory compliance things. But coming to the specifically to this financial statement review, the key benefits that we have is the anomalies that are there, the inconsistencies that are there in the data are easily identified, errors or any other irregularities are identified. The IFRS disclosures, it automatically rechecks the disclosures to ensure compliance with the international financial reporting standards or the standards that are in vogue in the particular jurisdiction. Further, scenario analysis can also be conducted by AI to support informed decision-making processes. Data extraction can be automized, and the comparison with prior period data is also will become much more easier. Related party transactions, the detection and the reconciliation of related party transactions can also be streamlined through AI processes, ensuring thoroughness and completeness. A few examples that we can give regarding the AI's use of financial statement review, the detection of various errors, that could be one. Validation of consolidation entries could be the second one. And now there are so many tools that are available as far as AI is concerned. OCR software, predictive analytics, and anomaly detection algorithms are the key examples that are being used as far as the AI tools are concerned. Yes. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay. The integration of artificial intelligence into the quality assurance processes is revolutionizing the field of financial reporting now, I think. By leveraging AI, firms can enhance the efficiency, accuracy, and reliability of their quality assurance practices across various dimensions. So it is from the first side, the firms are also using AI when they are performing the audit. Now coming to the audit quality review, the benefit of AI in quality review is also numerous, as I've already mentioned, and Mohammed Saab was also mentioning. Enhanced accuracy through a AI algorithm minimizes the human error, detecting discrepancies that might otherwise go unnoticed. Efficiency and speed, which I was mentioning earlier, are significantly improved as AI automates repetitive tasks, allowing for quicker turnaround times and reviews. Consistency is maintained as AI applies uniform standards across all reviews. Predictive analysis also allows AI to anticipate potential areas of concern, proactively addressing issues before they escalate. As far as the repetitive tasks are concerned, we at Institute of Chartered Accountants Pakistan, we have done the tool that is used, RPA, Robotic Process Automation. We have actually conducted 6 workshops in last 2 years in our major cities and online, in which we have done 2 days hands-on training of our members and our affiliates on RPA, its different aspects that could be used in different aspects. And we are also working on this as far as the audit quality review is concerned, and we will be coming up up with a program which is already developed by Ishfaq Tola Sahab, and we will be reinforcing it as far as the quality reviews is concerned. So AI enhances audit documentation quality by addressing critical areas of client compliance and efficiency. It detects deviations between planned and performed procedures, ensuring the alignment with audit strategies. AI identifies gaps in audit evidence documentation, reducing the risk of non-compliances. It also reinforces the adherence to international standards of auditing that we call ISAs, or if there are any local standards which are being used, obviously they can be placed there as well. AI tags and indexes audit documentation for swift retrieval and better organization as well. So example of AI documentation, AI actually highlights the insufficient evidence for key audit risks. So that could be a good example. And obviously, because of AI, the enhancement of reliability of the working papers could be improved. If the work is done through the usage of AI, the computerized tools or the computer software that are available that use them, and then if the reviewer is using or the same AI or the AI tools for the review of the working papers, again, it would be a very good example of how AI can impact on these areas. If you go to the next slide, please. Yeah, thank you very much. The regulatory compliance verification, again, it's a very, very important area. How AI actually assists if there is a large volumes of data for regulatory adherence. There are certain gaps that could be identified between local and international standard, the gap analysis, the updates for automatically changing the regulations. Here, all AI can come in. And what are the use case examples I've already mentioned? IFRS, ISA checklist could be a very good example. Then corporate law, obviously it has an impact locally in our audit. Much of the audit is, external audit is derived from different aspects where the corporate law has given different guidelines. And there are other laws compliances now, which is very, very important as well. And again, the benefit is the same, that it is helping us to reduce the errors, and obviously the reliance and the actually the transparency of financial statements and the whole audit process is actually ensured by usage of AI with a lot of speed. Can we go ahead, please? Thank you very much. By providing data-driven insights, AI prioritize risks and allocate resources strategically. The historical data and the current trends could easily be identified. The key scores could be linked for the key audit areas. You can focus more on the high risk accounts or transactions. And as such, all flags, unusual transactions, where there could be a potential fraud, and whether it was identified and it was worked upon by the auditor or not, it becomes very much easier for the reviewer to actually identify all of these things. So the robust review of risk management can definitely improve the audit planning process and also help the reviewer to actually work their plan as well much more easily. Next slide, please. Okay, the next is the technical review automation. Technical review automation is streamlining processes by reducing the manual workload and increasing the precision. We look into the report generation and review where automation improves efficiency and accuracy. Quality control procedures are being enhanced through AI, ensuring consistent application of quality standards. And client communication review will also be an important thing, using AI to ensure clarity and compliance and professionalism in client interactions. So if we go to the next one, one example of technical review automation is maybe a checklist on lease classifications under IFRS 16 or any new ISAs. So as far as the report review is concerned, structured and compliant report creation is automated, including exception reporting for any deviations. You can review the audit reports that are being issued based on data analysis and findings. Different tools can be used there. Consistency in language and compliance with standard can be ensured. Highlight the areas of deficiency or which required further human review that could also be identified by the AI. And one such example could be the review of the management letters that are being issued and identify the control issues that have not been mentioned there. So, in actual fact, again, time efficiency, accuracy, and standardized reviews can be ensured in this aspect. If we can please move forward. Okay. The real-time monitoring also ensures compliance with the international standards on quality management, the ISQM that we have now. AI provides actionable insights for continuous improvement in the quality control mechanism as well. So it also provides analytics on review performance metrics. And the one such example could be all flags of deviations from audit methodology would be easily identified. If you look at any standardized audit software, when you work on it and the team completes the task, and whatever the deviations are, whatever the missing links are, actually most modern softwares, again, because of the use of AI, actually gives that flag already to the engagement partner. So if those things are missing, I'm sure, and audit software is being used, the audit team partner or the engagement team has already worked on it. But with this facility for AI, the use of AI for the reviewer, again, reviewer also make those flags. For example, we use a 62 pages checklist in our scenario, in our jurisdiction, which the reviewers use. Once we automate it and embed into AI, I think the reviews could become much more faster, and any deviations from audit methodology could be easily identified, and the whole quality assurance process could be strengthened, and the time factor of doing a review could also be substantially reduced. Thank you. Can we go ahead? So client communication, I already slightly mentioned. AI helps in analyzing the client queries and responses and what has been tone used. There would be certain automated routine client communications like confirmation request. AI, obviously using RPA could be very useful there. Then AI can scan communications and point out whatever the deficiencies were there in those communications. And again, the review process of the communication review can also be reduced by use of AI. Yes. Now, as Mohammed Saab was earlier mentioning as well, yes, there are so many advantages of use of AI. There is no second thought in it, but then there are certain challenges here as well. As is whenever you are using technology, most of these challenges do come up. So some of these I have mentioned for you. The data privacy concern would be a major concern. Again, dependence on the quality of the input data would be a challenge. High investment in AI tools. Again, these AI tools are expensive. And I think here we as a SAFA body, as a SAFA SMP or SAFA as consolidate with so many institutes and jurisdictions that are involved here, we can actually negotiate the pricing of different AI tools. And if I remember in our one of the last SMP meetings, we also discussed there were certain tools that were used by the Indian Institute already. And if we can do similar sort of bulk purchasing for established vendors, I think that would be very useful for the whole SAFA jurisdiction, the institutes and the bodies, the chartered bodies and the accounting bodies who are affiliated with SAFA. Again, the mitigation strategies, there would be robust data governance policies that would be required. Regular updates on AI models would be required, and obviously staff training. I think in any case, whenever you're going from manual to automated or even automated to AI related things, there is a certain level of training that is required with the staff, and that will be needed as well. Yes, can we move forward? One tool that I already mentioned, and I mentioned our case study example that we're using in Pakistan was RPA. And RPA, not only we are working on its usage in these reviews, we are also working in filing of tax returns with our tax regulator, the different bookkeeping assignments. So RPA is huge. And we have tried and they tried to give the practical 2-day mock exercises on Microsoft Power Automate, but there are other softwares also available that could be used. And again, similar softwares can be purchased or could be actually booked for the SAFA member bodies, and they can purchase it at a reasonable cost with the offer of the bulk price offering. So can we move ahead? I think so. If I go into that aspect, and which I think one of the initial presenters also mentioned, integrating AI into our current practices does not mean replacing human expertise, but it is actually augmenting it. AI complements the professional judgment of accountants and auditors, automating routine checks and providing in-depth analytics. This enables professionals to allocate their time more effectively, focusing on complex decision making and on different other aspects. And from the reviewer's perspective, again, the time that reviewer was already spending, it would be spent on areas where definitely they need to focus more. The repetitive tasks, the routine tasks that are there, that would be much addressed in this. However, adopting AI, as I already mentioned, presents challenges. Data security is paramount, ensuring the confidentiality and integrity of financial data processed by AI systems. And as Mohammed Saab mentioned, ethical considerations must also be addressed, including biases in AI algorithms and maintaining transparency in AI driven decisions. So, AI encourages strategic and proactive decision making for viewers. I think there is no second thought in that. The adoption of AI as a quality review assistant marks us significantly for the accounting profession. It offers a path towards efficient, accurate, and insightful quality review processes. We at Institute are committed for fostering innovation and equipping our members with the tools and knowledge needed to thrive in this digital age, and also offering the same for our quality reviewers as well. If I go to the next slide, then I can go to. Yes, looking ahead, yes, we need to embrace AI for a future ready quality reviews. That would be for betterment of our profession and its transparency, and it's the way it is being looked into regulators. It will give a lot of strength. And as already mentioned, investing in training and technology for seamless adoption is very, very important. And lastly, I would again like to thank all the organizers for giving me this opportunity for speaking on this topic. As at our institute, it is rather at an infancy stage, but I would also love to listen to our fellow speakers of the practices that are followed in other SAFA countries. And I really hope that together we take the positive strides on usage of AI in quality reviews and in different fields that are related to accounting and finance profession and the betterment of our region or all the SAFA region. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful presentation. And today I'd like to share that around 1,400 participants from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Nepal have joined this webinar. And I would request now our next speaker, the eminent speaker of the day, CA Vijay Srinivas ji. And let me introduce to him with all of our viewers that he's a certified information system auditor, certified in cybersecurity, and an insolvency professional by IBBI. He has a cybersecurity and data protection laws from prestigious university from Hyderabad, and he has 6 post-qualification certificates from ICAI, and he is also an eminent speaker with our certificate course on AI. So I would request Vijay Srinivas sir to please take the session, and the dice is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you, President, Vice President of ICAI, President and Vice President of SAFA, and other bodies, ICAP, Sri Lanka, Chartered Accountants, Nepal. So it's been a privilege to be part of this session and hearing to the thoughts of my fellow presenter Asadji. and also with the inaugural topics mentioned by Kabir sir and also Umesh sir. I'll be sharing my screen. I'm not presenting anything in terms of PPT. I've just roughly prepared the thoughts in a Word format. I'll be shuffling between a couple of files so that now that we understood the concept of the way we are using AI, the way it can be used as a quality review mechanism or otherwise, let's try to delve into certain kind of practical aspects. Though I'm not endorsing any of the products, just for the sake, let me just also share the screen and provide the disclaimer. Yeah. So obviously, though I'll be referring to a couple of tools and all, so nothing are being endorsed. It's only the way I've been personally using. I'm trying to demonstrate those. And also none of the organizers are endorsing these products. So kindly please consider this whenever I'm referring to any of the products for that matter, or any of the tools, what I'll be referring to, because as I said, it's only for the sake of convenience and also for setting up a proper examples. So we had agenda, other kind of agenda what we are looking for, and in terms of the way we can connect this AI with the quality review, and marvelously presented by Asad sir in terms of trying to touch upon the challenges and trying to touch upon the conceptual aspects and also the end use what we are looking for. So more or less, it might be little overlapping or little repetitive. Obviously, we are dealing with one particular subject, one domain called AI, which is being trying to connect with the respective domain. And I'm really appreciative in terms of the profile of Asad ji, because he's into more of IFRS and all. Though I'm not into that kind of domain, but let me try to connect in the best possible way into various things. To start with, let me just, I've just drafted a couple of key agenda points. And while I discuss about the agenda points, I'll also refer to the respective tools. And before we get into that kind of thing, let me just share a couple of thought points shared by both Asad sir and Kabir sir in terms of AI. So definitely AI is not going to replace, but what I see, as also mentioned by Umesh sir, is it is going to replace those who don't adopt the same in a quicker way or in a much required way. So that's one challenge. And what I see as an AI being a user for the past 2 years or so, especially the generative AI, it's definitely a very good intelligent assistant. Obviously, for my decision making, or for that matter, compiling any kind of information to deal with thousands of lakhs of data, I need to depend on certain tool. And then again, still the transparency issue is there, whether I'm using any kind of tool available in the market. Still, I need to blindly depend on the programming done by them. So more or less, the same kind of transparency issue was there even in the applications. It's only that we had certain contract or whatever it may be. So I'll share a couple of thoughts. Couple of generative AIs, what I was using. I've personally written to them and got an NDA in my name from the respective generative AIs, so that you can confidently use, if not personal identifiers, rest of all information like any financial statements and all. So probably that practice can be adopted, where you write one-to-one mail to the respective entities, those who are providing you AI services, to enter into an NDA to an extent that you can have confidence while sharing the information. Second thing, as much I believe in OneDrive, as much I believe in Google Drive, or as much I believe in cloud, where I'm storing all my important documents, or the communications through Gmail for that matter, I don't find much different architecture when it comes to AI, because it's also more or less working on the cloud base. And what comfort I was getting in AI is it's not storing the document or the information in the same form what I upload, unlike in OneDrive or Google Drive. So it is going to be converted into the respective machine language, what it understands, and our so-called tokens and all. So ultimately, the output is generated based on the tokens, what it has trained on. So that way, I'm a little more comfortable while sharing the information documents, for the reason that it's not stored in the same form and same format, or same content, the way OneDrive or Google Drive is being shared, where still there is always a risk of someone trying to access those. Okay. And the third aspect, what I thought of mentioning is integration of AI is going to be the next level, because we have seen even the minute level products like Microsoft Paint, where we used to use it 15-20 years back extensively for kind of designing something for our offices and all. Even those have come with an integrated products like image through prompting and all. So likewise, integration is the requirement for any particular product to survive. And so as in case of our services also, unless we integrate the AI into our practices in some or other form, okay, it's going to be a very tough time. Because in India, especially if I speak about regulators are speaking the language of AI, we are speaking, mentioning about SEBI, we are speaking about RBI, the C&AG, they are talking the languages of AI. When the department are trying to use machine learning in identifying the anomalies in the returns filed by the SSEs. So that way, both the client who is adopting the AI as part of their production or whatever operations, and also the regulator, the way they are using, definitely a challenge as a chartered accountant who's a mediator trying to communicate. Because what I feel is the most important challenge, what as a chartered accountant of India, earlier I was the first data point from where the information was generated, maybe through filing service tax returns or VAT returns or sales tax returns. Now I find myself as the last point in the data of the financial data flow, because it's going through various e-way bills or various UPI payments, various regulators, and ultimately I get the credentials from the client. I download, then only I'll get to know. So that's the challenge what immediately we'll be facing, wherein from the place where we were comfortably the people who generated the financial data to the place where we are the last users of the financial data. Of course, leaving apart the audit aspect and all. Now, I've designed a couple of steps in a way you can deal with. Like I'm going with agenda wise. Wherever I can demonstrate a use case, I'll jump into a use case where I'll try to show you a practical kind of thing. And yeah, a couple of things I might show. It's not about language or coding kind of thing, but yeah, just give a attention so that you can understand the concept of what I'm trying to mention. Coming to the AI-powered financial statement review, this is how actually the journey of generative AI started in terms of chartered accountant. Though people were using for responding to notices by taking the help of ChatGPT and all to provide with proper responses to the notice. But as an auditor, this is where the comfortable area, wherein if I speak about RPA, robotic process automation, we go with rule based. I need to identify the variables, I need to identify the areas, I need to identify the respective properties or whatever it may be, and I'll go by properly a pure rule based kind of system, like if so and so then what. Okay, but the challenge here is, like say if I take up an example of a bank audit, wherein the data provided by the customers will be in a different formats, will be in a different languages. Especially we speak about India, we have different languages. So people provide in a regional languages, and agreements will be provided in regional languages. So all these challenges were also there even when I'm using RPA. So that's where the AI has started in its usage, wherein I can take the help of AI to convert the entire unstructured data or otherwise different languages or different text into a proper formalized kind of text, which will be helpful for me to perform the RPA from that particular stage onwards. So this is one advantage of AI where it has developed, and the RPA itself has been much bettered. Okay. So steps, we first of all, initially we get the data ingestion. I mean, we get the data into a proper structured format. This of course can be done through RPAs and all. Then we use various standards, like if in case I'm using RPA, I'll be using the frameworks or standards published by the institute or international standards, whatever it may be. Then later on, we used to get into mathematical accuracy and try to cross-refer between the statements. Okay, so again, deep analysis and review of documentation. This is the normal step process if in case I have to consider about the financial statement. Now, if in case I have to perform the same as a use case, like say for example, I'm speaking about a firm, a small and medium firm, which is dealing with multiple financial statements of different industries and of different structures. And at the same time, whenever I'm using it, it can't be a tailor-made. It has to be customized as per the respective industries, or so-called the prompts, whatever I give in case of generative AI, also to be customized. If I take up an example, the word what I'm talking to you, I mean the word file what I'm displaying itself has its own integration. Let's say if I open up a particular file, let me just go to a particular file. say I'm taking the help of, let me take up a notes on accounts. I'm just putting all the draft, all dummy kind of information. I've just modified the main documents into various information. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to verify the sample notes. So if I have to use AI, either I need to upload this document to the respective generative AI, or probably convert into the format what it understands, whether it is a text or image, and then start communicating with it. But fortunately, if I follow, like if I'm using Microsoft product across my various activities, the way, especially, in India, we use Excel for analytics and Word for drafting notices or responding to notices. The same Excel, fortunately, now it has got its integrated AI that is called Copilot. Okay. So now the advantage here is I don't have to upload the concern about raised by Kabir sir or Asad sir is about the privacy. So if I'm opening a document which is logged into a Microsoft, it's as good as I've given the consent for Microsoft to train themselves by accessing the information. Without that, obviously, I can't use Word. If I'm not logging in, definitely I can't make the edit or I can't use. So that way, either way, I'm going to give access to the Microsoft for using a particular word. So what I do, I not use the same capability of Microsoft, that is Copilot, to perform an analysis. Let's say you have this icon, draft with Copilot. What I'll do is I use Copilot here itself. And let's say, please, it's not mandatory to put please and all, but it's just the practice what we follow as a human. Okay, please analyze these notes on accounts and identify any non-compliances. Let me just zoom the screen so that I think this screen, it has a limitation. Okay, fine. So bear with me, this particular window of Copilot having a limitation, it can't be zoomed anyway. So please analyze these notes on accounts and identify any non-compliances from the disclosure requirements of Indian accounting standards, and also Schedule 3 of course, Schedule 3 of Indian Companies Act, Division 2 of Companies Act 2013. So here, if in case I have to get the same kind of thing, I need to upload this document elsewhere, like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it may be. Now the facility of the integration Copilot is giving me a comfort of using within the Word file itself without uploading the information outside. This is the advantage what we have by integrating the AI. Fortunately, Google and Microsoft are the competitors in terms of coming up with the best products. Okay, then that way, that's actually giving advantage. So I can deep dive, I can keep on further getting into a discussion. Okay, so it was mentioning about the working performance disclosure, trade receivables and payables, and it also highlighted certain non-compliances with Schedule 3 and Division 2. Okay, it has even gone into the macro level, identifying certain amount details. So this particular thing gives a comfort of the privacy where I don't need to upload the document elsewhere. Okay, now coming back to our agenda point. So I can use this. See, basically, my personal thought is I can call a technology, or for that matter, AI tool, whatever it may be, is of such use or good use for a particular, especially chartered accountants, wherein it will help me maintain the standard at the same level, whether I'm performing audit. I've started my audit in the month of November, immediately after getting appointment after AGM, or whether I'm doing it in the month of June, just 21 days or probably 2 months prior to publishing of annual report. So what I meant to say is, if a technology gives me that comfort, wherein it standardizes my practices, standardizes my way of dealing with, because every firm have their own culture, every firm will have their own practice of working. So definitely I can't depend on a tool. There is no such tool which is tailor-made to fit into every firm. Okay. So at the same time, my tone with the client in the month of November, let's say if I'm performing audit of 24-25 financial year, and I got appointment in the month of October, and I've started commencing my audit in the month of November. my way of dealing with that audit, let's say I'll be having ample resources because all the returns have been filed, I'm having excess staff, and I'm deploying the staff into the particular audits, okay, and I have enough resources to perform an audit. I have a comfort of time also because I'm 5 months ahead of the March closure, then I'm performing an audit. Versus, I started my audit post, for some reason, the information was not provided or some information not available. I commenced my practice after the closure of the financial year. And at that time, again, there might be resources available, may not be available. The time constraint is definitely there. And you also need to address other competences like return filing, income tax, or GST return filing. So for me, if technology helps me maintain the same standard, irrespective I'm doing in the month of November or after March, that is where I consider to be a technology of use, especially when it comes to chartered accountants. And I feel this AI has got that capability to standardize our work. It's not that I have to use some tool as part of, even if I'm depending on generative AIs like ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, whatever it may be. If I just come up with an SOP, a standard operating procedure, saying that if you are into audit, you need to use these prompts, you need to generate this output, you need to follow these AI governance rules, you need to be following these responsibility aspects, ethical aspects, then whatever output comes, you put into this particular folder, let your team leader or the engagement partner, whoever it may be, will review that. If I standardize that practice, that itself will be a very good integration mechanism rather than directly using some kind of tool. Even a prompting itself can be used in a standardized way. So these are the things where especially the small medium firms should be thinking about rather than investing, because obviously the technology, the way it looks, it's not so. AI is definitely a costly affair, and also the processors, what it requires, and the power consumption and the resources in terms of upskilling the staff, those who use, these are all the cost factors. So instead of that, try to identify one particular tool and try to make the best out of it by standardizing your procedures than trying to get into different kind of products. This is the best way of integrating. Okay, so now we have checks cross-referencing between the nodes, validation, mathematical accuracy, identifies the missing. So these are the use cases, and I can even compare the analytics. And I'll take you to one interesting tool released by our Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So Institute has published roughly around 84 or even more what you call GPTs. They have used OpenAI platform, and they have published wherein I can get into any of these tools. And this is, of course, linked to the ICAI members, membership number. So it's only the Chartered Accountants of India can have access to this. But what it has done is it has created every GPT connected to the committees, respective committees, wherein these GPTs are updated with the knowledge base of various publications come out by the respective committees, and also the various publications in terms of given by the government or whatever it may be, like budgets and all. And more importantly, the way Chartered Accountants of India, they've started using these GPTs, because for a knowledge of any particular GPT, the knowledge base in terms of the documents what they upload might be around 15-20% of the entire. The rest of all 75 to 80% comes from the way members use it in terms of prompting, in terms of communicating, in terms of deliberating. So that knowledge base is the asset of these particular GPTs. So fortunately, like I being a faculty also, wherein as of now, I think roughly 8,500 members of Indian Chartered Accountants are trained on using various AI tools. So that way, more and more use has started polishing these GPTs in helping the members in turn in performing their activities. So likewise, you have various GPTs, and more interestingly, you have this industry-wise GPT. So it's really my pleasure to share that I was there when these particular products were launched along with the President, sir. And these GPTs are around roughly 60 plus, where every industry GPT is updated with listed companies' annual reports pertaining to 23-24, and ranging from roughly from 25 companies in one particular industry up to 500 even in case of financial or banking industries. So that way, these GPTs, what is the help I get? I mean, let's say, for example, I'll take up one particular dummy case. So let's say I have this standalone financial statement pertaining to 2023. Okay. And trying to compare with the industry benchmarks. So let's say this is related to minerals. So let me just identify what is the mineral. So I just need to get into this GPT of minerals and just upload the document, what I was referring to. Let me just say let me just use attachment icon and okay. So let me just upload and come back to the use case. Let's say I want to compare various ratios with the industry peers. I mean, whatever financials I'm auditing, that client or that financials, I want to compare with the peers so that I can form some benchmarks and also identify what are the risks associated with that, following your IS 315, SA 315, sorry. So here, let's say, I'll say, please compare key ratios with the industry peers in this industry. So this part, I think I can zoom in this industry. No need to disclose this company name while generating. Obviously, by chance, if in case I missed out masking also, I don't really take risk. So this way, by using this particular simple prompt, of course, this is not the way I use prompt. I'll curate it because we need to follow certain properties while you're generating prompt. But otherwise, let's say I'm just trying to use it vaguely, a simple prompt to identify. As you can see, this is searching the knowledge in terms of the publications, what this GPT has, and also the training, what it got through various members. Some chartered accountants, some auditors already would have used it, and those things will help. Now here, as you can see, it's giving ratio insights in terms of year on year, and the profit margins. It is comparing the benchmarks, and also it is giving various other things. I can even ask it to provide it in a proper tabular format for the easy sake of kind of thing. But if I can use this particular product, I mean, if I'm having maybe 50 or 100 companies which are spread across, say, 15, 20 different industries. Earlier, I used to get the information in terms of benchmarking to depending on some listed companies, need to download that, compile the information from those listed companies, make it as a proper chat, then start comparing with my client and then come up with the benchmark summary. Instead of that, now my job has become easy where I'll be, one thing you might again say that the privacy aspect, because that part we have to take care, obviously, by masking or trying to replace with dummy names, because obviously it's a draft one. And then you can use this. So this particular thing, I can probably say, okay, now that you got those benchmarks, how about identifying any unusual variations from the file which I have shared with you? Okay, so that way I can even keep on performing the queries or prompts, whatever it may be, while interacting with this. So now that I'm taking, my AI is helping me out to get into communication statement uploaded by me and communicating with the ratios generated by from the various listed companies, and starts providing me a comparative. Okay, so it is giving the range in which my company is in and how it is varying from the different kind of thing. As I said, the textual kind of output may not be such interesting, so I can even request for a tabular kind of format. But anyway, I'm not here to demonstrate the particular tool called GPT, but either way, this is how we can make use. Okay. Now coming back to this thing. So as I said, fortunately for us in India, we have these tools provided by the institute, and I believe various things are happening wherein they are going to come up with even other aspects also where it can help of performing our quality, maintaining the quality of our audits. Okay. And again, complex tax, especially the mergers and acquisitions, as you know, the complexity is what we face in those kind of thing. And I think this is the best way where you can deal with while handling this kind of thing. Okay. So that's our first agenda point where we made use of course, GPT, and also in the word Copilot we have used. And let's say another thing, and as I said, every product what we use, including your WhatsApp, are having these integrated, like in WhatsApp, you have Meta. So it's only that the way you identify mechanism about integrating those into your practices, or the way you standardize saying that no, has to be there in this step. You are going to use this. You are going to, you are not going to replace, but you are going to have this particular step in between for performing, but maintaining the quality of the audit. Okay. And coming to the next one, let's say here I'll be sharing one interesting use case. But otherwise, the steps, obviously, these are pretty much we are all aware of. Nothing to demonstrate about this because you're all into this audit anyway. So, but what when I try to perform review again, the privacy, whatever we speak about. Let's say I'm going to the same some PDF file. Let me open up a particular PDF file. Lot many files. Please bear with me. Okay, and let's pick up one working file. Hopefully I've curated all the information, but anyway, let me just get into this financial statement. Okay, and we speak about identifying, cross-validating the information provided in the audit report, or trying to identify whether it has addressed all the concerns, or even otherwise has followed the formats of SA 700 in terms of providing the reporting. So many things, because as you are aware of, especially like, even in India, you have a NFRA, and in US, you have PCAOB. So, and in Pakistan also, they have their regulator. So we have seen that the kind of issues what they catch are at minute level. I mean, it's like you're not following a proper standard, information was not properly disclosed, or not demonstrated your audit procedures in your audit opinion para. So these are the things where you are doing your activity, you are performing your act. It's only that you're missing out those things while preparing the report, because leaving apart the maker checker, as I said, when it is on the in the neck of the time, like saying that the last days of your finalization, especially the time is very short, there are always chances of missing out a couple of things, including your minute clerical issues, kind of. Is it not? So even if I'm using tool, because as you said, if you have to use a tool, your ERP kind of model, you have to follow your timelines, and there obviously you think of overriding considering the time. So when you have those kind of scenarios, and the best way is, because most of the time we'll be using PDF. If in case I'm using the version of PDF and all, Acrobat PDF. So Adobe also has its own inbuilt integration. So let's say I've used AI of PDF, where, as you can see, it has summarized the entire document. Okay, and just to mention, this PDF has a limit of around 200 pages, provided as long as your document is within 200 pages, it has the capability of analyzing. So what it has done, it has analyzed the entire document, segmented into various paragraphs, identify the showing thing. So next thing is interact with that particular agent. Okay, so let's ask, of course, it's trying to generate certain suggested questions. Yeah, I see what is opinion of the auditor on the financial statement. What are the key audit matters according to auditor? So that means I can communicate with the document rather than trying to go through minute level and going through the entire 70-page, 100-page kind of document. I can communicate with I can probably interact with the document using AI. Let's say I'll ask a question. Let's see if we can zoom this screen. Okay, here also there is an issue. Only the file is getting screened, zoom, not the particular prompt. Okay, let's say I want to identify. Please identify whether the audit report is as per the standard, such as SA 700, in terms of formatting, disclosure, as well as in line with the, or as well as maybe I'll say in line with the financial statements. Okay, so this way, again, the issue what we earlier discussing was the privacy or confidential. See, I'm not uploading this document elsewhere. I'm not sharing with either GPT or Claude or whatever it may be. I'm using within my own system, because obviously nowadays it's become a pretty norm that any product you have to use, you have to give consent in terms of providing access to the information or whatever. So either way, you're going to provide unless you give an consent to access, you can't operate that particular tool either way. So with that advantage, if I can use the prompt here itself, I don't need to upload elsewhere. I can just take the help of the AIP of Acrobat and provide me insights into the document. So depending on the prompt, as I said, the kind of tokens it might consume. Okay, fine. Now it has summarized. Let's see what it says. Yes, the audit report appears to be in compliance with the SCA, and the report formatting it as disclosure. Report provides the detailed disclosure, alignment with the financial statements, compliance with the legal and regulatory requirements. Overall, fine. Any non-compliances? I can just say any non-compliances. A simple question. Because I've just used a general question saying whether it is in line with all those things. So might be I'm looking more concentrating on the formatting kind of thing. But if I have to deep dive, based on the provided document, there are no apparent non-compliances with the so-and-so. However, few areas could be scrutinized further. CAM, key audit matters. Report said that there is no CAM. While this is acceptable, it is unusual. Okay, fine. It's just giving a suggestion. It's not that it's 100% mandatory. Management responsibility. So it's essential to ensure all specific response. So it's just cautioning in terms of the way auditors should be cross-validating or cross-verifying before he commits through this report. IFC, other legal and regulatory, and of course signature dates. Because a couple of things what we have noted as part of FRRG also that there are issues in terms of the balance sheet date adoption of balance sheet date versus the board meeting versus the signature of the auditor. Okay, so dates were having some conflicts. So these are the things what regulators will be definitely identifying. So these things, otherwise, it could be a typographic error, it could be a clerical error, but definitely with the help of AI, I can have a better insights into this. And here, let me share one of the use case which I follow. Otherwise, many of us follow. Whenever you are dealing with the draft, whenever you are providing a draft of any of these reports with, let's say, I'm sharing with the ChatGPT, asking you to identify any non-disclosures or whether it is in line with SA 700, 701, 705, whatever it may be, then it would have given its insights. So please understand that ChatGPT is just whatever you're trying, the LLM, it's one particular model. In that, again, you have various models, various kind of versions. So whenever you are interacting with the respective generative AIs, your prompting or the way you interact with that will make it a better model, because more and more intellectual kind of deliberations you make or intellectual kind of prompting you give, the model will be bettering itself in terms of response. So that's how it improves its knowledge base, because already it has a foundation knowledge base through documents. And rest of all, the way you provide the information, you interact and you try to correct or whatever it may. Now, if I am using ChatGPT to perform a quality review, I'm taking the help of ChatGPT to perform quality review of my audit report. And it has given certain insights saying that, okay, you have missed out so-and-so, or everything is fine. Now, what I'll do is, I'll not blindly go for it, because if I have to again review the same thing manually, it will take a lot of my time, either mine or my resources. So what I'll do is, I'll take the entire output given by the ChatGPT along with the draft or the draft of audit report. I'll approach another generative AI, like you have Claude, one of the best generative AIs available. Okay, they call it as a constitutional AI because it's being trained not by a human, by a proper human intelligence by virtue of the machine. Okay, so I'll take this entire insights given by the ChatGPT along with the draft. I upload it to the Claude and ask it to review, saying this output is generated by another generative AI. So kindly review, identifying if anything it has missed out along with your suggestions. So that way, I'm taking the help of AI to perform an audit of AI output, which otherwise humanly it might take a lot of my time. Okay, then obviously Claude will review on it because I've given all the limitations, I've given the issues. So it is going to address that particular issue. It is going to give an output. Now, once it gives an output, I'll again not go blindly onto that. I'll come back to the ChatGPT saying, okay, you have missed out these things, which otherwise, because I had to train my model, because ultimately next time it should be giving, taking care of those things. So I'll give the output given by the Claude and comes back to the GPT saying, make the corrections, whatever is required. So these kind of things, because ultimately, as I said, some or other way, we are going to use this, and it's going to be more part of our profession as we keep on progressing the kind of improvements what they give in these tools. So that way, if I can take these kind of cautions, I'm taking the help of AI to perform a review of AI, and also I'm trying to train the model. And by the time I get my final output, where I'll be using my engagement quality review partner services or otherwise any team who performs a quality review, he'll be seeing the best of the output than concentrating on the clerical issues or the date issues or simple issues where otherwise you should be concentrating more broader way, what the way PCAOB or NEFRA does. So that is where you can make use of AI. This is one particular use case I thought I'll share with you. Coming back to the agenda points, again, being a review, that is one, of course, internal quality inspection. This is also one way you can do. And more importantly, the development. Okay. So here, I've just summarized a particular information, which might be of course, again, as I said, I'm not going to endorse any of this, but I'm just sharing a couple of things. Like say, if I'm using an online version, these are the few things based on the chartered accountant practices, what we have seen, like ChatGPT and Claude, which is by Amazon, Gemini, which is also now considered to be one of the top models in the recent past. And you have Perplexity, and GitHub also has its own LLM. Of course, we'll not get into technology kind of terms and all, but we have both online and offline versions. Okay. So this part I've already mentioned. Now, you might say that the issue is with privacy issue with the using PDF AI. I might be using Word AI. I might be using Excel AI like Copilot and all. But still, I can't keep on accessing each and every file, get into the tool, open the AI, keep giving the same prompt again and again in multiple documents. Is it not? It's a cumbersome process. Ultimately, it disturbs our audit procedure. Somewhere I have to adjust my audit timelines. Okay. Now, when I speak about online, the way I was mentioning about ChatGPT, similarly, there are good number of tools which can be run on your own laptop. You don't need to depend on what so-called generative AIs on platforms like OpenAI and all. So that's where I've listed down. And just to demonstrate, I'll take you to one particular tool. This is one second. I think my presentation is occupying the screen. Yes, let me come back. Okay. So I was just speaking about one of those tools I've listed on. You have LM Studio, you have Jan. This is also open source version of ChatGPT. You have Llama file. Okay, many things. And I mean, not get confused about hearing this, because we are speaking about statistics where every day around 50,000 GPTs are being released. So you can imagine per minute how many, like every month or every hour actually a prompt around 150,000 prompts are being used, including images that could be around 2 lakh prompts. So these are the statistics again provided by various GPTs. So we are dealing with an era where the data is of high magnitude, and whenever I speak about minute-wise or hour-wise, you need to understand that the machine is being capable more and more, that every minute and every hour. It's learning more and more every minute and every hour. Okay, so that is the era what we are dealing with. Now, coming back, let me just show you one of those Nomic GPT. This is again, whatever I'm demonstrating, these are all open source, offline. I'm not paying anything for it because I'm using it's only that whenever you are trying to have your own LLMs, you need to be cautious about the processing speed, and also your hardware, the storage should be of very good size. Because obviously, let's say I have a particular folder where I've uploaded certain knowledge, certain publications of course, I've taken the international, like US-based PCAOB, our own Indian own NEFRA, and the guidance note on fraud, reporting fraud, and SA 240, of course. So if I'm having these kind of information, as I said, every document I have to perform review individually by using prompt. That's a time consuming. And that's where I can make use of this local machine based, wherein, as you can see, I just connect the local docs with my respective for file folders, whatever I'm I've given a name called financial statement audit. As you can around 6 files, it has also identified the number. I'm not going to run the chat and all. The way I'm using the prompt within my local mission to folder and perform the act considering the SFS, the standard. So what it has done, it has taken up the file shared by me folder, that is your Nephros, and it is trying to compare with those information and providing. It is also provided on which sources it has covered. What are the sources based on which definitely know where it is going out. And more importantly, I could communicate with all the files in a respective folder set. Most important is your process enough. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of. So this is another way where you can perform your quality reviews by the agenda point. There's a problem with multiple documents anyway. Yeah. So here, coming to the third, of course. Now, once we are there, let me just close this. As I said, it is giving an indication that my resources are being consumed because I'm trying to run multiple files while using this processor. Okay, fine. Now, regulatory compliances. This again coming back, I don't repeat the steps in terms of demonstrating various tools and all. But yes, let me just show you one templates. And I would say this is one of the practices, best practices, what you can follow. Fortunately, in India, government has come up with a particular concept paper called AI governance. They have given a deadline of, I think, 26th or 27th of this particular month to come back to give for the public comments. So it is speaking about the ethical aspects. It is speaking about the responsible being having a responsible AI, and also considering about all privacy aspects and all. Okay. Now, obviously, this is one thing which is going to come up down the line. It's my personal view, of course. I'm not saying that it will happen, but definitely in my audit report, we might see a particular line where I need to mention about what are the tools, if in case I'm whether I have used any AI as part of my audit procedure. I think that that declarative statement might come up because, as I said, one of the challenges is if I'm trying to demonstrate my audit procedure and I said this particular content has been generated by using AI, unless I accept that fact in my report, there'll be a lot many challenges coming up. So this might be the future where I'm predicting personally, saying that somewhere my report might also provide an address the issue about whether I've used AI as part of my audit procedure. Okay, so I've just prepared a couple of templates. This is the right way of communicating with the AI. Whatever you do, okay, try to document those particular things and try to link up with your regular audit procedures. Don't try to isolate the AI as a separate thing, because that is part of your audit procedure, and you are responsible for whatever you're dealing with. So the best way is to have a kind of checklist wherever, whatever staff you are using in terms of whatever way, they need to at least document this. Say, for example, I'm just sharing a particular template, which is called AI Enhanced Risk Assessment. I'll be performing risk assessment as part of my audit procedure. And to capture that information, I need to have a proper checklist mechanism and also a proper document mechanism in capturing that information. Let me just close certain unnecessary documents so that I'll save. Okay. few seconds. Yes. Just like the way we have our own templates to document whether it is client acceptance or conflict or independence, we need to come up with a few things where I'm using AI as part of my audit process. Say, for example, if I'm trying to use AI as a part of my review of risk assessment. So as we consider various factors, risk factors, I also need to have a mechanism of how I'm rating, because obviously I'm taking the help of AI for, if not directly as a decision making, but I'm definitely depending on the information given by the AI for forming my own decision. Okay. So that way, if we can have this, so that we are preparing for the future, wherein if in case I have to demonstrate to what extent I've used AI and what is that, I mean, in what way I'm using those for the, coming up with my decision making and all. So these kind of templates will help. Okay, sorry for the hanging. This is one risk when I'm using AI. Okay, it consumes a lot of processor. Okay, and let me just try to open this file, and else we'll go back to the Word file anyway. We are just left with another 15 minutes, then we can go for question and answer session. Okay. Meanwhile, let me just rush to the Word file to see the other aspects as well. Okay. And this particular part, I was more or less recently we are depending more on the industry GPTs published by ICAI to compare with the ESG metrics, wherein multiple companies, I mean, a good number of listed companies have been uploaded into that particular industry GPTs, which will help me perform the review. And risk assessment, of course, I'll not get into the way we use the tools and all, because more or less the way we use AI, either as I said, integrated way or by using generative AI kind of thing, that's one mechanism. One way I can make use of, I mean, of course, I'll be sharing a practical scenario where I will be using this particular risk assessment. Say, for example, I'll randomly pick up any company. Only worry is if I'm mentioning anything over here, it should not go in a wrong way. Let me just the Cloudflare issue. Okay, so here I'm going to check upon. Let's go back to the Word file and let's try to identify risk probabilities. So I'm going to quantify the risk probabilities of, say, a steel company. Okay, quantify the risk probabilities of a steel industry. Okay, so here another probably another use case is I mean, thanks to my partner Mr. Premnath, wherein if I have to identify the risk matrix, the best source is your red prospectus. I mean, in India, the listed companies, they provide the red prospectus wherein they will be mentioning the risk factors of the company, wherein they'll be mentioning the risk factors of the entire industry and also the company in various aspects. Okay, so if I can pull up the risk factors in the red prospectus of every industry, let's say if I'm picking up steel industry and I'm picking up, say, 10 to 15 listed companies of steel industry, pick up the red prospectus from SEBI website and compile that entire risk factors as industry risk factors and the company risk factors, whatever it may be. Then if I use that as knowledge base for my GPT, as you all know, we can custom our GPT, we can create our own GPT. If I can use this as knowledge base of that and try to share the inputs, insights of my client and try to perform a risk assessment based on those, that is where you are going to get a better output than you manually performing or using some tool wherein you're not having any access to the transparency of that tool and all. So this is best way. And also just to share, especially in the bank audits and all, if you can identify those issues, those bank fraud cases which are lying a bit before the judiciary, and pull up the reports, pull up the modus operandi of those particular frauds, and compile that as a knowledge base and share with your respective GPT. then give the insights of your client, those for whom you are performing bank audit. This will help identify the anomalies which are matching with already existing fraud, and that could be an early warning for us. So that way, I'm finding that the AI can be of very good tool to perform those kind of reviews, especially the kind of quality review. Let me just put this particular thing, quantify the. It's a vague, broad prompt, nothing much intellectual about it. It's just simple prompt. But what makes interesting is Perplexity has the capability of refining that and trying to come up with follow-up questions wherein I just need to follow those respective questions. I'll be getting more and more insights into that particular information. Okay. And more or less, because it gives the sources as well, I'll be confident about referring to the information, unlike other GPTs where, of course, ChatGPT nowadays, it started giving even the resource links as well, especially when I'm enabling the globe icon. So that can be done even ChatGPT also, but otherwise, this is where, okay. So I'm getting a risk matrix of a steel industry. Okay. And as you can see, it has given various factors of steel industry and also analysis. Okay. The prescriptive analysis of the particular thing. So we have here the diagnostic, we have the prescriptive and moderate risk factors, and also we can even get into the predictive kind of thing. And more importantly, as you can see, what are the most critical risk factors? How do fluctuations? What methods are used? How does Boston matrix, of course, to compare with the risk identification? What are the commons? So the follow-up questions, a simple prompt, a vaguely written prompt, where I'm trying to get into touch with the particular subject. The Perplexity, especially this particular generative AI, is helping me deep dive into that particular subject by giving follow-up questions. Okay. So, of course, again, coming back, I need to compile this information, put it in a proper document, and then use it for the sake of analysis. This is where you can think of using. And another risk, how I'm going to give this risk scoring. I mean, if I'm giving a risk score, on what basis? So I'll be using the historical data analysis. I'll be using the current ratio indicators, the predictive elements, and there is, of course, a formula which ChatGPT has helped out in coming up with a formula where I can use AI scoring. So using this score, if I am using, because obviously I have to certain extent depend on the factors given by the AI as well, the risk factors given by AI. So rather than directly going with the explanation or text-based kind of thing, the ratios will be help me in a much better way to compare. Okay. So score range and on what basis I can consider it is critical or not critical and all that aspects. Okay. So what I was trying to say is whenever you are using AI, try to come up with various templates wherein in what way you can make those the AI tools or the AI procedures add part of your documents, and what is the scientific way of demonstrating those things, like as I said, the ratios kind of thing or AI risk ratio kind of thing. Because obviously it's your responsibility. Someone questions the way you're using AI as part of your decision making, to what extent you're relying on. These are the things what you have. I also had a very good statistics prepared. Let me just throw these particular charts with you, and very interesting charts. I think I should have run this at the beginning of the session, but nevertheless, very good insights. I mean, otherwise, at the end of session also fine. You can at least have some key takeaway out of this. So I was just trying to identify, if in case in my firm, in a chartered accountant firm, no matter whether it is in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, wherever it may be, to demonstrate a quality, okay, there is a way where you can just review the financials of the audit firm, financials of the auditing chartered accountant or whoever is performing activity. And by identifying how much resources is allocating towards a quality. So because to perform a quality review, definitely I need to have a team. There is a QC mechanism. There is a time. There is a resources required. There are tools required. Okay. So if I have to quantify that, so that is where thought process has made me give this chart. Okay. So I'm trying to find out in terms of resource modern audit firms, how the resource allocation happens. So here, so these are the at 68.5 are the other operations. When it comes to quality, when I say quality, obviously I'm using directly resources in terms of manpower and the technology investments. When I say investment, obviously it's a one-time kind of thing. and the reserves, whatever I have to extract out of my profits, whatever I get, or the receipts, what I get. So it shows that around 31.5% is the norm any particular firm requires to invest in the quality review mechanism, either through manual, either through technology, whatever it may be. So that means if a regulator is accessing a financial statement of an audit firm, it gives a picture about to what extent they are investing on the quality. Okay, a very interesting insights, and definitely probably you can brainstorm in this, going back to your firm, saying that we're looking at your balance sheets, whether you are justifying, your financials are justifying the required norm, what a modern audit firm requires. Okay, now going ahead, considering the AI implementation, okay, I'm implementing the AI. What are the additional impact? What is the impact I'm going to get? Let's say reduction in review time, 45%. Increase in error detection, 40%. Reduction in non-compliance, because this again, if you link it with the penalties levied by regulators and all, that's again the additional kind of thing. But reduction in non-compliance. So I'm saying about in terms of percentage, we have y-axis in terms of percentage. And you should see the increase in samples review, 350%. We are speaking about sample review of 350% increase by using AI, because I can use large data sets within shorter period, perform the review of the same quality, and standardize that across each and every audit activity what we do. Okay, very interesting insights what we have. And again, without AI, let's assume that, okay, fine, I'm saying that I'm going to go with the age-old system of using some tools or technology or manpower for that matter. I depend more on my own intelligence, human intelligence. I'm going to use standardize my review mechanism. Still I'm comfortable with. So what is that you're losing without that, without implementing? There is a chance of regulatory penalties, because what I said, regulators are using AI, regulators are using machine learning. And with that kind of things, minute to minute or macro level kind of issues are being identified by the machines used by the regulators. Then of course, indemnity clause, if I have to mention about what is that you're saving by using AI, 17.5%. Client retention risk. Okay, so this particular thing without AI, because obviously I speak about client who's using AI. Okay, I usually give this example wherein if you're dealing with the direct taxes, where you are giving certain computation on certain investments or sale of certain properties, and assuming the client is using an AI to provide various options, assuming based on the Income Tax Act, and versus what you give using your tool or your kind of thing, definitely there will be always a challenge, because the client might be very good prompt engineer himself, might be having a staff who is a very good prompt engineer. So he can come up with a very good output using AI that he compares with the output given by you. So that is going to be a challenging factor. And of course, staff turnover. That's an issue what we are facing now as of now. So that is also a reason for which I should be going for it. And of course, return on investment. As you can see, it takes hardly around 24 months. These are in terms of months, whatever we have, and the value, the kind of investment. So it roughly speaks about in terms of $1,000, $50,000, if I have to be consistent in terms of AI implementation. But the return on investment over a period of 24 months, it is definitely coming back. And more importantly, my net value is increasing, and also the cumulative savings are increasing. Okay, so it's hardly from 6th month onwards where you can try to have recovering the cost what you have incurred on. Okay, and this is the quality metrics. One side you have the samples and the accuracy kind of percentage, and the other side you have the cost per sample. Okay, so as you can see, the manual review, most importantly, if I speak about this yellow, the cost per sample, it is pretty high, because you are including the manpower, you are including the man-hours, and you are including your resources, your own time as well to review those samples, versus because as the cost of manpower is increasing, versus if you are using the kind of cost per sample what you're going to do. And more importantly, the samples per day, the way you can increase in terms of using AI. Okay, so these are the things which justifies the way where you can think of using AI as part of your quality review mechanism. Fraud risk. we speak about predictive analysis. Asad sir also has mentioned about one of the aspects is predictive analysis. In fact, it's been very good way of using AI because when I say about predicting, it's not about trying to predict the going concern aspects or otherwise the risk factors. If I go back to the previous data, what I'm auditing, let's say 22, 23 or 23, 24, I'm auditing, I can use the predictive mechanism on the earlier periods and identify if in case the pattern or regression, whatever it is following, if it is in coming up with this kind of predictive analysis, whether the same is matching with the actuals of that. So that will give a different insight than going with the benchmarking or trying to go with the regular ratios. Because when I say rules, these are all rules what we are speaking about. Rules clients also know. So once there is a rule, there is always a chances of breaking or always chance of breaching. But if in case I'm using predictive analysis, which uses smart algorithms kind of mechanism, okay, and it identifies anomalies which otherwise a rule-based can be client can identify making with the help of rule-based. So by using the smart algorithms in terms of predictive analysis, that will give me different insights into the data and help me outperform the quality and to maintain the quality of my audit. Okay. Again, I'm not going to deep into that technical evaluation. These are the steps which I think Assessor has already mentioned this particular thing, but let me see if any better use case. Yeah, contract terms. And as I was mentioning in case of bank audit, let's say if I pick up the sanction terms of any particular customer and upload the sanction terms, because if you see if it is a consortium kind of lending, wherein there is a lead banker and the other banks, and their various clauses overlaps, and sometimes by doing so, certain clauses mistakenly would favor the customer, which otherwise humanly it's not possible. Even I have to depend on some expert advocate or kind of thing, or even otherwise I need to spend a lot of time to understand. But there, if I'm using AI capability to review the contract entire end to end and come up with the insights and keep on questioning in my own way, in trying to identify those factors which are overlapping, those factors which might impact the agreement, those kind of things. So that way, it's going to help you a lot. Okay, especially in the software companies, the kind of revenue recognition issues what we get, even otherwise in different infrastructure companies and all that stuff. So that can be dealt with the help of that. And we have, as I was mentioning about a couple of the GPTs, like in Institute also, the GPTs what is published, you have one insolvency and valuation standard, which is again updated with the knowledge base of various valuation standards, which otherwise helps up in identifying a couple of things in my audit. Okay, and report generation, much to speak about, because it's more comfortable when it comes to text generation kind of thing, and that way it is going to keep up with those kind of quality. In fact, not to take much time, let's say I created this Python code. Don't worry about coding and all whenever I say coding and all, but this particular code will generate an audit planning report based on the insights. And this particular code will generate an audit report based on the insights. When I say audit report, to comply with the SA 700 and the illustration 1. So I mean, I feel like whenever we use these terms called coding and all, being non-tech savvy people like chartered accountant, we get scared. But please understand that if I go to Singapore, I may not know the local language, or if I go to China or Japan or any place, if I have to communicate, I need to take a translator. I need to take the help of translator to communicate. Okay. So there is a translator to whom I'll be speaking in English. Translator in turn converts into the local language. Whatever he speaks out, he's throwing it back to me. So the code, what I'm speaking about, the Python code, whatever it may be, let's assume that it's in foreign language. Okay, to speak with the Python code, I'm taking the help of ChatGPT to speak the language what Python understands. So I'm putting in my English saying, okay, this is my requirement. Please tell Python that this is what I'm looking for. Kindly help me in providing that. So ChatGPT in turn provides a language which Python understands. I'll share it with the Python. It will give some report. If it is working fine, great. Otherwise, I'll again go back, sir. The Python has given me this report. It's not working. Please again communicate back. This is the issue what I'm facing. So look at it as a translator. Don't look at it as a code, macro code, BB code, or Python code, whatever it may be. If you look at it as a translator and take the help of these GPTs to provide the reports what we are looking for. And once you have those kind of mechanism, it can be a much more comfortable audit procedure what you can have, because these are the tools which are there in your control, in your system, and it's transparent. We go to the code, you can identify what file it is accessing, what is generating. That's where you get more comfort. Okay, so just to give a comfort, I was giving an example, but pretty much you can relate any of those things. You doesn't have to learn the respective codes. And of course, multidisciplinary firms are taking advantage of that in India. Especially, they are taking software engineers as a partner, and accordingly, the domain knowledge what they have, they are trying to come up with the product tools in the way it helps the firm. Okay. Yeah, this is again pretty regular practice, the way it generates the responses in terms of providing the reply reports and all that stuff. Okay. And quality control, yeah, again, it comes back to the way you define your prompt. As I said, one of the best practices is to, whenever you are getting a right output by using any generative AI, out of say 10 iterations, you have done a couple of prompting. At the end, you got a proper report. Then you go back to the same GPT saying that, okay, you took almost like 10 iterations to give this kind of output. What you would have expected in the first prompt itself to get this kind of output. So kindly help me out, develop a particular prompt which will resolve this issue right from the first iterations. I don't need to wait for 10 prompts. So whatever it gives, test that. Once it is working, save into your repository. Say whatever work you're doing, the respective prompts, what it has been finalized, are the one which has given a proper output. Save into your repository so that you can refer back to the library. And not only you, your staff, your partners, whoever it may be, they can refer to that, and without wasting much time, they can get the same quality what you got, which was tested otherwise. Okay. And yes, again, coming to quality, these are the steps which we follow. The most important is ANS quality control, the one template which I've showed with you. And engagement quality review, as I'll also, which I've given an example where I'm taking the help of both GPT or Claude to perform the review of one GPT output with other to review and identify, provide me a proper output which I can use it for the sake of engagement quality review. Team performance, and there are a good number of let's say, for example, as I said again, when I'm doing this, please understand that I'm not trying to share any kind of tool and all. Let me just go to the web-based GPT. Okay, so here I'll let's say one way I have to perform a quality review of a particular company by 6 o'clock today. Okay, I can even use this as a task. Okay, so I'm saying that, okay, please alert me for a quality review to be performed about quality review performed on financial statements of a company. And you can even add the industry segment so that by the time you can even give an option saying that the compile the required information in terms of benchmarking and all. And by the time you alert, also keep those information ready. So alert me in next 45 minutes. I can even mention the time. So I can use this as a task management tool also. I don't need to depend on kind of thing. Got it? I'll remind you in 40 minutes. So that means I'm going to get a mail to perform a quality review. So I can use this as a task management also as part of my regular audit procedures. And of course, you want to get into more current kind of information. Let's say, what is the rate of course, I'm being very general. Okay, as on this time, converted into Pakistan rupees. So there I can just use this globe, which can provide me the insights. So I'm saying you don't need to get into various tools. Identify one tool, perform a review. Once you find it to be of right output, what it is giving, then accordingly you can use it. So you can make it a current, you can make it as a task reviewer, you can make it as a quality reviewer, you can have as a knowledge base, and more importantly, you have, as I said again, please don't mind that I'm speaking more of this ChatGPT and all, but yeah, I'm definitely not endorsing. I can even create my project wherein I can keep continuing, let's say a company audit of a particular company. That itself I create as a project, and various inputs coming from the taxation aspect, the audit aspect, and various other resources I can dump into one particular project and keep interacting and keep refining. In fact, I've developed a couple of prompts also, especially where I can use it on ICA's, the industry forum GPTs, roughly around 60-page prompts, where I just follow those 60-page prompt, will demonstrate my entire audit procedure. I perform that, compare that with my insights, and then come up with a summary. So that demonstrates that, okay, definitely I've done some activity, and my opinion is backed up with some kind of insights by reviewing all the informations. So this is how you can make use as well. I believe we are in the last 7 minutes. So let me just stop the last one, obviously the client communication. So one thing what you can follow is now that you have the tools which can standardize your workflow like RPS and all. So you can take the help of, you define the flow to the any of the GPTs in terms of the tasks what you are going to handle. It is going to throw you a particular flow chart which can be converted into workflow. You can use the same workflow in UiPath or various tools where it can generate a proper workflow mechanism kind of thing. Okay, so this is where you just need to define the process of workflow, take the help of the respective GPTs to generate a workflow chart, which can be again used as to develop your RPS, your own RPS. Okay, so there is one more slide, integrated audit workflows, how it can be done. The technical review workflow, and then the way it can be communicated with the risk aspects, risk assessment and all, and finally regulatory. Because flowcharts or workflow is the easiest way to identify which step has been complied with, which is missed out, and which particular step I can integrate my AI. These are the things. Okay, so let me stop my presentation here, and let's see what members have questions. In fact, I believe I was shared with the login credentials to access the questions. Let me see if I can check into that.
Yes, sir. As of now, we have not received any question.
Wow.
There is just one question. What is the role of AI in finding new opportunities in local area practice?
It's a tough question, sir. I mean, opportunities are everywhere. I mean, I say that challenges. I mean, sir, let me hear from Asad, sir. Maybe, I've been talking. I'll be fortunate to hear from Asad, sir. Then I'll try to address. Sir, Asad, sir, there's a question saying that how to use AI to identify the opportunities. Do you have anything to say, sir?
I think this is a good one. And I think from the very start till now, we have been talking on this aspect. So the role of AI is basically immense. And you have did a splendid Vijay presentation. I've been hearing you for the last almost an hour now. So it was, I think the whole of your presentation, little bit from my side and before that. So all of us are emphasizing on this, and the whole webinar and this concept is revolving around this, that this AI is coming, it's happening, it's the winter that is coming.
Yes, sir, great. And one point probably what I can add is the challenge what AI faces is the transparency, the training mechanism, and the governance, which is being questioned by all the regulators also. Probably that challenge itself can be converted into an opportunity. You can probably jump into saying that, okay, I'm going to review the material, what it is being trained on, and I'm going to identify what is the mechanism they have used. Okay, so it's not technical. It's purely a simple observation of perception, what we follow as a chartered accountant. So that can be a very good area wherein if your client is saying that, okay, I'm using this ChatGPT for payroll processing, and then you can jump in saying that, okay, well, let me just review the transparent mechanism, how it is trained on, what material it is trained on, how it is running and all. So that itself is a opportunity. AI governance and ethics is the next big thing because definitely regulators can't control the movement or the revolution of AI. But what they can do is trying to regulate in various ways by imposing regulations and in terms of governance or the ethical aspects. And to comply with that, I believe there are two professions. One is the advocates, and the other one is the chartered accountants. So advocates, I don't think they're not much fascinated towards the technology. Though I am also LLB, Asad sir is also LLB. As an advocate, they're not much fascinated towards the technology. But chartered accountants, somewhere we started our journey using ERPs and all that. So that gives us comfort to capture that area. Maybe you can look into that. Yes, sir. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Over to you. Yeah.
If I can supplement what I think to the question, if you allow me.
Yes, sir, please.
I think the questioner has rightly pointed out because it might have a two-dimensional his thought process. One is, say, using AI, the benefit, as rightly you have covered up the very aspect. So obviously, to answer his question, the artificial intelligence can enable the firms to handle larger volume of clients without proportional increase in staff. That is an opportunity. I would say that because this scalability in particular beneficial for the small or medium practitioners. This is one dimension. This is within the your client base. If the questioner wants to ask that to increase his number of base client or scope of work, I will say that the discussion the Srinivasji you have just made elaborately and earlier our fellow colleague from Pakistan, he has done correctly. You see, it is AI has opened the opportunity in different field. It is not just traditional way of just what we think for a assurance or auditing process. There is so many multiple areas of consultancy and service providing areas. If you can implement those, therefore both the AI can expand your business opportunity both horizontally as well as vertically. Internally, as you see, they expand your client base also and scope of areas also. I hope that way we can answer to his question. Thank you, sir.
Perfect.
So thank you so much, sir. So as we have come out to the close of this enriching webinar on AI as a quality review assistant and capacity building. So I would request our another eminent speaker, Asad Firozji. Asad Firoz sir, we have kept a link of the SMP survey, which is there in for the viewers. They can click and they can submit their feedback. So we request everyone to please give their viewers to give their feedback. Asad Firoz sir, we would request if you can please request our viewers to please submit their feedback on the same.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that was mentioned to me in advance as well. There is a feedback link that is available. I think at SAFA SMP, we have been asking for feedbacks. And I think some of the feedbacks were emailed to our members in Pakistan and other bodies, I understand as well. So this is probably an excellent opportunity that we are in a session and we have more than 1,000 people here with what I was told. So if we get your feedback here, I think that will help us to make our probably the policies or the roadmaps that we are thinking at far as the SAFA SMP is concerned, that how we can actually improve the skill set of our practicing members, especially the SMP members and the practicing members in general as well. So if you can take, I think it will take 3-4 minutes of your time. If you do that, it would be
Asadji, we are losing you. Priyanshu, I think there's some. I think we have lost you.
Actually, he's got disconnected because of his weak signal. So
Okay.
no issues. So sir, I think we should give the thank you remarks for this webinar. So
Yes, sir.
I would.
Yes, sir. Asan sir has joined. Joined back.
Asan sir has joined.
Apologies, I was just completing. Very, very sorry, some internet issues at our side. I was just saying that if you can take moment of your time to complete this, it would be very useful for all of us when we sit in the SAFA SMP committee and the rest of the committees that we have at our respective institutes. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, sir. It is a gratitude to our leadership of SAFA and ICAI. So I thank Mr. Ashfaq Yusuf Tola, President SAFA, and Mr. Mohammad Himayu Kabir, Vice President SAFA, for having this confidence in us to keep this webinar. And also I express my gratitude to CA Ranjit Kumar Agarwal, our President ICAI, CA Charanjot Singh Nanda, Vice President ICAI, for inspiring leadership and encouragement in fostering innovation in our professional practices. The Chairman and the Vice Chairman of the Committee for Members in Practice, CA Rohit Ruwatia ji and CA Umesh Sharma ji. And our sincere thanks to our eminent speakers, to Mr. Asad Firoz, Central Council Member, ICAP, for sharing the global perspective on the role of AI in quality reviews, and CA K. Srinivas ji for his insightful and practical session. So your expertise and engaging presentations have been cornerstone for today's success, inspiring all of us embrace AI as a transformative ally. So thank you so much, sir, for this webinar, and and I also thank our viewers for attending this webinar. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It was really my pleasure,
Thank you.
Asad ji, and I've enjoyed your session very much. Hopefully, we'll have a few more from jointly. And
Yes.
Kabir sir, your words of the initial words has set the platform the way it has to be. And thank you very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed the platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.